Welcome back to the Mountain Man Medical YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to build out a good trauma kit for an active shooter situation, or maybe just a mass casualty event. So if that's something you're interested in, hang out. We're going to talk about that next. All right, guys, before we get into this video, do me a huge favor. Go down below, hit the like or subscribe button. That's a free way to support me here at the channel. So if you liked it or you got something out of it, then that's an easy way to support me here. But let's get in this video. The Highland Park mass shooting just happened. I was very sad to see that. I saw one news article about a little boy who lost both of his parents in that shooting. So they have a suspect in custody, but that's about as far as I know. It's been kind of a rough 4th of July weekend that way. So, our hearts here go out to them. I mean, what does that even mean, right? Our hearts go out to who? To what? What does that even mean? We sympathize. That's a hard, terrible thing. And especially seeing that story, that little boy that lost both his parents. So what can we do as civilians to prepare for something like that? There's a lot of people out there who carry concealed, and they are willing to run at that bad guy and shoot the bad guy, and that's great. I admire those people. I think that that's a fantastic thing to do. I can't tell those people not to do those things. I can't tell people not to run away from the situation either. Everybody has to make their own decisions on what they're willing and able to do. But if you are carrying a gun, thinking that you are going to go in to save the day with that gun in an active shooter situation, that is a huge responsibility that you are deciding to undertake. So making sure that you are properly trained and well practiced is essential. It doesn't mean that you go to the range and shoot every once in a while. This means you go to shooting schools and you are staying on top of your best and ultimate ability to use that weapon to defend yourself, your family, and your community around you, especially in the event of an active shooter situation. A lot of people don't realize the amount of risk that they're undertaking when they go into an active shooter situation, thinking that they're going to solve it with their gun. There is a substantial risk of you not only being killed by the person, the active shooter, who has obviously no compunctions. He's out there killing people, so he'll kill you pretty quickly and easily, but so will the cops when they show up. Here in Colorado, we had an event that happened here in Arvada. Good Samaritan responded to an active shooter with his pistol, shot the bad guy, bent down to pick the rifle up off of the ground, and responding Arvada police officers shot and killed him. And that's not on those police officers, not even a little bit, right? They saw a threat, they shot. It was a mistake, but a completely understandable one. But that's something that you need to be thinking about. If you think you're going to be running into a situation to save the day and be the hero, you have to realize what it is that you're actually risking. It's substantially more risky for you than everybody else that's there, because you've got the bad guy and the good guys all gunning for you. So making sure that you're paying attention to that and you understand what it is that you're signing up for is essential for helping out in any active shooter situation. Now, not everybody is willing or able to use a weapon to defend their community, and that's totally fine as well. We need all these different people that bring different things to the game. So if you are a warrior and you're willing to defend your community with violence, good job, go do that. But not everybody is. So there are some people out there who, while they might not want to use violence as their method for assisting their community, they are willing to use medical gear or medical skills. And I think that's a fantastic thing. There's plenty of people out there that don't agree with guns on many, many different levels, but everyone across the board, no matter what your race, creed, ideology, religion, politics, all of it goes out the window. Everybody can agree that having a trauma kit and knowing how to use it is one of those great ideas. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you might need in your trauma kit that will help you to come out on top if you happen to be in the area to help out at an active shooter situation or maybe just a mass casualty situation. So we'll talk about all of that here, and we'll check out our Mass Casualty Trauma Kit. So you can find this on mountainmanmedical.com. Of course, we sell these completely kitted out, or you can go and find all of the individual products if you want to beef up on tourniquets or chest seals or wound packing material. You can do that, no problem. So let's get into this kit. Let's take a look at what's in it and some of the things that I recommend that you should have in there if you're going to help out an active shooter situation. We're gonna start with the outside of the bag. Here we've got 2 tourniquets on the outside. These are cat tourniquets. You can get these with the soft T's, TMTs, whatever kind of tourniquet that you wanna have. You can get those and have those added onto the kit. But for this particular one, we've got the cat tourniquets out here on the outside. That frees up extra room on the inside for more wound packing and more chest seals, which is important, and we'll go over why. But here on the outside of the kit, we're gonna have those quick access tourniquets and a good designator so everybody knows what's in this kit. It's not guns and ammo, it's medical gear. On the outside, our kits come with the smaller shears, these little micro ones. They work great, but if you want to upgrade yourselves to some of these more robust, bigger ones, feel free to do that. That's an upgrade that you can do. The bag itself is important to have these little pull handles so that you can carry it as you're running to places. And it has some MOLLE strapping here on the back so you can run your belt through it or attach it to whatever bag or gear that you need to. Opening it up on the inside of the bag, we're going to look at our triangular bandage. This is one of those multi-use items, catch-alls, and now it's on the floor. But you can use it for a ton of different things, including improvising tourniquets. So if you have so many casualties you're trying to take care of, you run out of medical gear, you're going to have to start improvising. Having a triangular bandage might be one of those good options. I have a video that I've done here on the YouTube channel where you can go and check that out, where I show the proper way to create, to fabricate your own tourniquet. And I'm gonna drop a link to that up here so you can check that out. Cravats, triangular bandages, one of those great catch-all items. You can use it as a pressure dressing, more wound packing material, on and on and on. It's a ton of different uses. Next up, we've got 2 pre-lubricated NPAs. These are great because they're pre-lubricated. Most of the time you'll buy NPAs and they'll come with a little packet of lube. Sometimes medics will take that lube and tape it to the outside of the package so you don't lose it and it's always there and available. But these come pre-lubricated, which is great because you get rid of that stupid little packet and it helps keep things streamlined. These are 28 French, which is the standard size for the adult American military male. So if you're trying to take care of smaller people, then this might not work so much for you. It might be beneficial to have a couple of different sizes in there. But here at Mountain Man Medical, we only sell the 28 French. But these are fantastic products to have. 2 of those are in your trauma kit so that you can manage those airways until EMS can arrive and take over. Now you might run out of materials, you might run out of gear. That's a pretty standard thing in a mass casualty situation. You should run into any situation like that assuming you're going to exhaust all of your medical equipment. So the more gear you have, the better. Of course, we can only carry so much gear with us. So if you have an organization where you want to prepare for this mass casualty or an active shooter situation, I recommend having a trauma kit staged in different locations around your property and inside your buildings so that you have quick and easy access to these trauma kits given any type of situation. This could just be an accident or it could be a violent man-made catastrophe, but either way, you've got pre-staged, strategically placed trauma kits located throughout your facility to take care of you and your staff. So 28 French, pre-lubricated NPAs, fantastic products. Next, we're going to go down the list. You can get either Quick Clot or Kaido gauze. The Kaido gauze comes with a substantially more amount of wound packing material than the rolled Quick Clot gauze. So it kind of depends on what you need. Obviously, more is better. The Kaido gauze is a little more expensive than this rolled Quick Clot gauze, so keep that in mind. But you do get more hemostatic agent to fill larger wound cavities. So that's a pretty beneficial thing in the midst of a mass casualty event. Well, let's talk a little bit before we get into the rest of this, why it's so important to have wound packing, pressure dressings, and chest seals instead of tourniquets. So tourniquets are great, don't get me wrong, they do a lot of good. You need to have them in your trauma kit because they're so quick and easy to apply. If you have any extremity bleeding, it's going to handle that situation pretty easily and quickly. So you need tourniquets, but in an active shooter situation, things are much different. The wounding patterns that you see tend to be those that aren't really involving the extremities at all. So what does that mean? The wounds that the casualties are receiving from the active shooter are not affecting the arms and the legs nearly as much as you might think. So tourniquets work really great, right? They have a huge, great track record. Lots of studies have been done showing how well they work and how many lives can be saved. But all that data is coming from the military. So the military is the one that's collecting that data and saying, look, tourniquets are saving lives. But they're also the ones wearing body armor, and they're encountering things like IEDs. So if they get shot in the chest, they hit plate carrier, no big deal. They shake it off and they keep moving. If they get shot in the arm, they apply a tourniquet, no big deal. They get it taken care of, move on. They take an IED blast, of course, tourniquets are in place. So their core and their trunk is very well protected by armor. But these civilians in these active shooter incidents are soft, slow moving, easy targets. They're not wearing any kind of body armor. And the whole point of the active shooter, what his whole goal is to create that body count. He wants as many bodies as possible. So what is he going to do? He's going to shoot for the place that's going to cause the most damage, your upper trunk and your head. Of course, you can't really take care of head wounds out there in the field. You can try to stabilize as best you can, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot that you can do. If you have other people that need your help, you need to stop what you're doing with that person with the head wound and take care of somebody who's more savable. So we're mostly concerned with upper trunk and junctional wounds, right? So if they get hit in the pelvis, in the armpit, in the neck, any of these places are junctions, we need to be able to wound pack those and take care of those with direct pressure and pressure dressings. These are places that a tourniquet is not going to work. On top of that, you also want to consider your penetrating trauma to the chest causing a tension pneumothorax. It will take a long time for EMS to arrive on scene to be able to start treating and take care of those casualties. They have to wait for the police and SWAT team to roll through there and completely secure the scene before they can go in and start taking care of people. So if you happen to be in the vicinity of all of this and you're trying to help out, you need to be paying attention that the risk of death from a tension pneumothorax is a little higher here. It can take about 20 minutes for that to develop, but that's 20 minutes in an active shooter situation is not that big of a deal. Like that happens all the time, right? So that casualty could be there for quite a while. So we want to try to prevent that tension pneumothorax from developing. So chest seals are really important. I did a study not too long ago about the Las Vegas shooting at that country concert. And one of the things that came out of that study was there was 2.7 wounds per casualty. So if we round that number up to 3, everybody gets 3 bullet holes in them, then we need to make sure that we're taking care of that with enough chest seals. Each bullet hole, entrance and exit, gets a chest seal. So you get one on the front and then one on the back for the exit wound. So there's not always an exit wound, but we want to make sure that we're always checking for it. So you need at least 3 pairs of chest seals to take care of each casualty. So you can see why you might need a substantially more number of chest seals for whatever situation you're preparing for. So chest seals, wound packing, pressure dressings are more important than tourniquets in an active shooter situation. So keep that in mind when you're developing and building out your own trauma kit. That's something to consider. So with that in mind, we already talked about our wound packing, the quick clot. Here we're going to talk about our Israeli pressure dressings. In the kit comes 2. This is the Israeli style. This is a pressure dressing, works pretty well. I've used it before. And then on the other side, we also have another option that I think is even better than the Israeli pressure dressing, and that's the Elias pressure bandage. This one comes out of TacMed Solutions. It is a fantastic product. Highly recommend. I also recommend that you look at the Hemcon Elias bandage. That comes with Kaido gauze in it already. So you have your wound packing and your pressure dressing all in one tight, neat little package. It's a fantastic product. I think it's the best pressure bandage out there on the market today. So if you want to upgrade, you really want the best of the best, that's what I recommend that you put in your kits. Next behind that is our chest seals. 2, this is a twin pack, so it's got 2 in each, right? Entrance and exit, and that comes with 2. So you can take care of one person with 2 bullet holes or 2 people with one each, right? Now you can also make improvised occlusive dressings. That's very easy as well. think I've done a video on that. If not, drop a comment down below and we'll talk about how we can do that in the future. Next, hypothermia prevention. This is a awesome thing to have, especially with you got casualties who are laying around for long periods of time before EMS can arrive on station. Keeping them warm after a traumatic injury is essential. So a way to do that, a way to kind of help you a little bit, is these emergency blankets. Next, we've got more gauze for treating smaller wounds or trying to plug up bigger wounds. Adding this on top if you have a really big wound will help you out. And then next, we've got 4 pairs of nitrile gloves, blue, so that you can do blood checks, see if you are missing any wounds, anything bad that's been happening to your casualty. So 4 of these so that you can use them on multiple people and also pass these out to multiple responders. Hopefully you've got help, because you need lots of help. That does it for the kit, guys. So this is called the Mass Casualty Trauma Kit. It's available on mountainmanmedical.com. So if you want to pick one of those up, head over there. Not everybody wants to defend their community with a gun. There's a lot of good that can be done out there by just civilian medics who are interested in just making everybody around them just a little bit safer because they're there. So if this is something that you need, check it out on mountainmanmedical.com. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It's a free way to support me here. I'll catch you guys in the next one.